Greetings. Today, the moon is in Libra. Went into Libra late on Saturday, depending on your time zone. And also today, the sun enters Aquarius. So, sun and moon both in air signs. And it's a good time to talk about some of our outer planet happenings, especially with Pluto in Aquarius. Remember, our good friend Pluto in Aquarius. So the sun entering Aquarius is activating that Pluto energy. Good time to talk a little bit more about that and how it is evolving. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro Vibe and Astro Perspective for Sunday, January 19th. We are moving along in 2025. We're moving along in the experience of Pluto in Aquarius. So, with today, the sun entering Aquarius, and Pluto, of course, is at 1 degree Aquarius. So, as the sun heads toward Pluto, which it will take a day or two to get there. But we have this activation. And so that Pluto outer planet, again, stays in a sign for many, many years. Pluto will be in Aquarius until 2023 and then really continuing until 2044. So it's a long-term placement. It deals with the energy that is going on in the background of our lives, of our experience. And anytime another faster moving planet, such as the sun or the moon or Mercury, Venus, Mars, any of these other planets, can activate Pluto by moving through the degree where Pluto is, or opposing it, or squaring it. So in this particular case, we have the sun joining up with, or sun conjunct Pluto happening this week. And so that solar energy activates the Pluto in Aquarius bigger picture energy of evolution that we are doing. And the evolution, Pluto has to do with transformation and how we transform and where we need to do things differently and where we cannot continue to do things the way we have in the past. So it brings what we have kept hidden or kept in the darkness or in the shadow into light, where we can make a decision. Oh, do I want to keep doing this? Do I want to cling to the past, or do I want to do my soul's work and move through the feelings and healing process that I need to move through to get this gift that Pluto ultimately is bringing of rebirth, transformation? And so, in general, we have Pluto in Aquarius, right? Pluto went into Aquarius in and out in 2023, 2024, but went into Aquarius to stay on November 19th of 2024. So we're at 2 months actually now into this process, and Pluto is getting us to dig deep, to look at how we have done things and how we want to do them going forward. So with the energy of Aquarius, we are talking about themes that have to do with ideas, ideologies, higher consciousness, innovation, shaking things up, bringing in new ideas, new ways of thinking. Of course, that there is always the potential with Aquarian energy, because it is dealing with new thinking, new technologies, especially having to do with, any kind of technology, computer, communications, all these things that kind of govern our modern lives, right? And we have to look more deeply at our relationship with these things. And so one of the themes that's been up in the news is different social media platforms. How are we approaching these? Are they going to shut down? Are they going to continue? What will they look like? How are we going to handle ethical concerns? Do they need to be regulated? All of these kinds of questions coming up around these higher technology, right? New technology relative to human existence, right? Only like what, the last 10, 20 years. So pretty new. And we have this technology that facilitates communication, but at what cost, right? And at what cost to society? So looking deeper at these questions is part of the Pluto in Aquarius process. So with the sun, of course, we have the Pluto Aquarian energy, and we have a choice to make around, will we do the healing work? Will we look at the deeper themes and what it is we need to confront that has been maybe something we could avoid, we could keep in the shadows, we could pretend it didn't exist. Right now, it's coming up in our faces to look at and make decisions about. And so Aquarian energy also, the kind of the dark side of Aquarius with, Pluto helps us look more deeply at what is the dark side, and this experience of detachment, of isolation, alienation, to sound like any of our social problems of the day. So those are the themes we're working on. And as you think about your own self-care, these questions might be coming up for you. And of course, depending on where early Aquarius is in your chart, you could be having a Pluto transit, right? So anything that's in late Capricorn, early Aquarius, or any of the early degrees of the fixed signs. So Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, and what's Leo. So any of those early degrees of fixed signs could be being activated. This could be a bigger deal for you personally. However, whether you're having this as a transit activated or not, this is happening collectively. So in the collective, the sun, which is our ego, our sense of self, is asking us to make decisions around how we confront this bigger picture of technology, of bigger, higher level communications, global networks, right? Internet, the global nervous system, so to speak, right? So our nervous system and our bodies has to do with electricity, how electrical signals are conveyed from one part of our body to another. That's communication, right? At a higher level, at this electrical level. And so the energy of Aquarius also has to do with that on a global scale. So really confronting how we do that, what are going to be our parameters, where do we need some transformation, where do we need to collectively make decisions about how to handle that, and what it means for our identity, both collectively and personally. Right? So if you're thinking, social media has just gotten so crazy, maybe I just want to unplug from it completely. How does that impact your identity? How does it impact your relationships with people that you communicate with electronically? So these are the kinds of questions we are dealing with in the collective. And for each of us on that personal level, we are being asked to do this transformational work around ideas, ideology, our vision for the future. So there's really a need to reimagine and reinvent how we view where we think we're headed. And so, some of these choices around, are we going to be creative problem solvers in our collective experience here? Are we going to work on that together? Are we going to each of us see ourselves as participants in this bigger problem solving process? How do we envision our future? And some choices around, are we going to invest our energy and our thinking and our mental resources into what we want to see happen, or into our fears of what we are afraid will happen? And this is just your regular reminder from me that the future has not arrived yet. And so, by definition, the future is still in process. That means we are creating the future right now, in the here and now, in the present moment. We are creating the future through our actions, our choices, our ways of being, our feelings, our behaviors, all of the things that we do. And so, I talk a lot here about baby steps and how you can find that little thing that you can do to move yourself in a positive direction, or be part of something that you want to see manifest in the future. So this Pluto in Aquarius energy that's being activated by the sun, there's a lot of ways we could think about that, but in terms of how you can think about it, for what do you do, right? What do you do about the problems you see in the world? Not just what are the problems, because we could talk about the problems, but let's talk about what we're going to do. So making it doable, but also really with this Pluto in Aquarius energy, to think about that vision that you have for the future and what you are in unconsciously, right? Pluto is unconscious. What are you unconsciously investing in? If you are maybe focusing on something you're afraid will happen. So just noticing that and shifting it to say, here is my positive vision for the future. So creating, thinking about, putting your energy into your positive vision for the future. As I always say, you can't solve all the problems of the world. You are not meant to. Nobody is asking you to. So take that pressure off of yourself. Instead, find what you can do. For some reason, right now, I keep thinking of ants. And like the way that ants all work together to accomplish their little ant goals, right? So we're like the ants. No one of us individually is going to fix all the ant problems in ant world. We are instead each of us contributing, right? And when we're all pointed in the same direction, all having the same vision and intention, which is, again, politics aside, and where people might have differences or disagreements or differences of opinion in all different kinds of ways, we can also agree, we want a planet for future generations. We want a sustainable world. I mean, I don't know if we can all even agree on that, but you get my drift here. It's like, think big, think about, I want my neighbors I want to get along with them, like sort of big picture general things. And when you focus on that bigger vision of what matters to you, what you care about, then figuring out, okay, what can I do today? And with the Libra moon, we have, just for today's energy and vibe, we have this air energy. So it's a thinking vibe. And the thinking vibe says, go for a walk or stare out the window, clear your head, ask yourself, what do I need to remember? What is important to me? Maybe do some journaling, write things out to say, here's what I care about, here's what matters, here's what I want to focus on, what I want to be part of creating for the future. And then just brainstorming a little bit, right? And how you can turn that into action steps. So with each day, we have a new moon sign, we have a different vibe, right? Moon is the mood of the day. So we have new energies each day that we can put in different directions. And Sunday, Monday, we have this Libra moon going along with the sun joining up with Pluto in Aquarius. So some nice air energy here to shake up our thinking, clear our heads, clear our minds, get out of whatever our limited thinking is. So you can think of these as little thought eddies. Just like how in a creek or a stream that the water finds these little places where it gets stuck and it goes around and circulates, but it just kind of goes back on itself, right? And it spins around. I think we can get those in our minds sometimes. We get stuck in these thought eddies of this is the way things are. Here I am, and I don't have any control over this, and we think about it in a really certain specific way. And so if we can let those thought eddies break up and flow on down the stream, clearing space for the new thinking that is going to help us see the way forward and find that clarity and open our minds to what that clarity looks like and feels like for you, right? For each of us. So, what is that? What is your vision for the future? Go ahead and write it out. Maybe make a vision board or whatever works for you. Give yourself something that gives you a place to focus your positive energy and intention and bring it into your daily life. How is that part of your routine? When do you connect with your vision each day and remind yourself that there is a bigger picture here? So whatever is trapping your thought into eddies, right? Making your thoughts circulate or spiral. Just asking yourself, okay, what is the other option? How else could I be thinking about this? How can I open myself to new possibilities, innovative thinking, getting outside the box, shifting my consciousness from recirculating, revisiting the thinking of the past to opening to the possibilities of the future? So that's how we want to think about this Pluto in Aquarius energy. I mean, we have this energy for the next 19 years at least, right? So we've got this opportunity to continue learning and doing the Pluto in Aquarius work, but part of it has to do with revisiting our own thinking and our own capacity to imagine the kind of future we want and not to be jaded by the thinking of the past, but to get ourselves uh, to shake up our own thinking so that we can get free of our own limitations in terms of how we think about things and see things from new perspectives. And some of the things I've talked about here, about taking baby steps and, connecting with your neighbors, building community, doing something positive, doing something that's helpful. And you can find those tangible baby steps, ways to do something useful. And I would encourage you to think about it as not futile, not that it's so small. How could my action possibly make a difference in these ginormous problems? But really, rather to think about it as that you are taking a positive action and that positive action can grow and it can spread. And you really never know how your choice, your action, your smile, your kind words to someone, your creative thinking, your own thinking outside the box and saying, "Hey, why don't we think about it this way? Or why don't we do this instead?" And instead of getting stuck in old arguments, whether they're in your own mind or with another person. So there are lots of possibilities here to shake things up, to get outside of what has held us in the past, right? Maybe held us in a feeling of safety, but also limits our thinking in terms of what we see as possible. So, opening our capacity to see new ways forward, opening our ability to invite in new possibilities, and aligning with those new possibilities to remind ourselves that the future is still being created and our positive actions and choices can contribute in positive ways to the future we really want to see. Things may look chaotic. They may look like they are going in the wrong direction. But you don't know that that is necessarily, the end. That there are lots of possibilities in terms of how and why things might look chaotic, and how we can take that energy of breakdown and turn it into the energy of breakthrough and opening to our human capacity to innovate, to create, to problem solve, and to find new ways forward. It's what we humans know how to do. We've done it for millennia. So we can certainly do it now. And believe in yourself, believe in your fellow human beings, show up to do the work, right? The work that you're doing on yourself to heal and to take care of yourself, get your needs met so you have the energy and resources to show up, and then find what feels right to you. Or if you don't know what is the right way, try something. See, get experimental. Be a scientist, good Aquarian thing to do, right? Try things, see how they work. And if you don't like it, you can do it differently, change it up. So don't be afraid to get in there and try new ways forward, try ways of taking care of yourself that can also be part of participating in solutions to whatever it is you are concerned about. And that is what I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here. I am Marina Orms, and I have an offer right now for a special recorded reading on Mars retrograde in your chart. So check that out. It's in the description for this video and on my website, astrologyheals.com. That reading will help you see from your own chart where it is you are needing motivation, how to find that motivation, how to organize yourself around what you are shifting, about how to move forward, where to take these baby action steps, what makes sense for you, and how you are figuring out your own path of clarity. So check that out, astrologyheals.com. Thanks again for being here and hitting the subscribe button, and I will see you next time with more astrology for unshakable self-care. Keep taking care of yourself, and I'll see you next time.